I'm out here like one wrong move away, two wrong moves away from absolutely sinking the whole company. Got some exciting things coming for next winter. You'll definitely see a big jump in scale again. Okay, we rolling now? We good?
We're good, rolling.
Okay, we rolling. Stepping on Narducci live with my boy Eric Maz. So if everybody hasn't heard of my boy Eric, he's been doing a lot of content creating and editing for myself as well as the business for Northern Snow back here for us in Sault Ste. Marie. And I really want to thank him and appreciate him for doing such great editing work and really bringing my page to life as well as helping with the Northern Snow brand. So I just want to say thanks for that, Eric. You've been absolutely killing it, brother.
Of course, brother. I got you. You know, it's been a pleasure working with you and your partner, Nick. Lots of respect for you guys for what you guys do out there and snow blowing. It's like one of the hardest business, it seems like, from watching all the raw clips. And yeah, man, much respect for this, for real. And
thanks.
It's very motivating for me, bro.
Well, you really get the rundown. I mean, you're watching the hours and hours of B-roll and raw footage and really seeing the inside of the business and what happens behind scenes. And as you know, it's a demanding business. There's not much time on your side. You could only prep so well because you don't know what the weather is going to do, and it's just always a mystery.
Yeah,
you see what goes into it.
Oh, yeah, I do, bro, awesome. And it's crazy. You guys are fucking badasses. I ain't gonna lie. Out there in, Canada, killing it.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a journey for sure. I mean, we're just getting started though. It really even feels like sometimes, obviously, being on the camera, it feels like, you know, you've been going for years. But when I'm in like a little calm of a state and I'm just chilling, I'm relaxing, I'm like, man, we haven't even started yet. We haven't even touched it yet. We haven't even done anything. Like we haven't even started. We're so far away from even actually getting this thing rolled out. And yeah, no, I'm excited to see what the future holds for Northern Snow, as well as for us on the content side of things. You know, we're really starting to get some good traction on the channels, and you know, I got to thank you for helping us out in that sense. I mean, over the last year, I did a lot of the content creating myself, and then I would do the editing myself as well, and that was a struggle. It was very time demanding. It was quite stressful, and I would say that the whole creating aspect wasn't that difficult. It was just more or less the editing that was very time consuming and demanding. It was not easy, you know, and it was always stressful trying to kind of meet deadlines to pump content out, knowing that, okay, I got to create it and then I got to sit down for 6, 7, 8 hours and edit a long form piece. For the longest time, I didn't even bother with shorts just because I was just spending too much time doing long form that I didn't have enough time to do shorts until you came to the picture. Now we're crushing it.
Oh, yeah, we're crushing it, baby. I'm excited. We're going to kill this year, bro, for real.
I love it, man. I'm super stoked. Well, you know what? We're on the camera right now just to kind of hammer some questions down about how the first snow event went for us here over at Northern Snow. Mozzie's going to hit me with a couple questions. And you know what? We thought we'd hop on the camera to capture the moment because why the fuck not?
Go, baby. Hi, man. So, yeah, your first couple of snowstorms, you know, how'd it go?
The first snowstorm of the season. Okay, so we're looking at about 3 weeks back here. It went as well as it could have went for how prepared we were. I would say the biggest lesson learned from that snow event was that you can never be prepared enough, right? We had 36 machines, had 36 operators hired, one for each machine. But there was something that wasn't really taken into account, and that was not every guy is going to show up for the first snowstorm, you know, and this wasn't just our first snowstorm wasn't just one event. It was 4 events crammed all together day after day after day after day after day. So it's not like you had much time to be able to hire anybody in between that because you were going for hours and hours on end and there was no in between time. It was just like wake up, snow, go to bed for an hour or two, wake up, snow. So to answer your question, it went as well as it could have went for how prepared we were. If I were to reapproach the same situation, knowing what I know now, is I would have went into my first snowstorm being overemployed for operators. So I probably would have hired 40 employees. Now this is going to cost you a little bit more money because it's like, hey, I only got 36 machines. Why hire 40 employees? Well, because that first snowstorm, you might have everybody come on the first day, but then the second day, the third day, the fourth day in a row like that, when you get a severe snowstorm, you're going to see people's true colors. You're going to see employees' true colors, and you're going to have guys make excuses and alibis of why they can't come in for the second or third day in a row. So that was the biggest issue for us. The biggest constraint on our first snowstorm was the fact that employees were definitely hired the right amount for 36 machines, but they all didn't come in, and that caused a lot of frustration for us.
Yeah, I saw from all the editing, and I could just see the stress growing every day. And but you made it. You and your boys made it.
Yeah, no, we crushed it. I mean, we made do for what it was, right? For the circumstance, we just kind of had to figure it out, and our way of figuring it out was just throwing every spare guy we had around. I mean, we were throwing people in from the office, guys from the shop, myself, my partner. And I'll tell you right now, for anybody who's going to be watching this that's in this business model, is like the biggest takeaway I've learned from that snowstorm is just like, guys, like go into your first snow event or your first storm, I should say, and be overstaffed. And then once you get the ball rolling, you got the momentum going, then you could start letting go of guys slowly. Pick your worst 1, 2, 3, 4 guys, however it may be, and start taking them away slowly as you gain momentum and experience and your team's up to par. But to have one machine for one employee at the beginning of the season for your first storm, it is a fail. So don't be doing that. Absolutely not.
Would you say like hire like an extra 4 people or like 3?
I would say this is kind of the rule of thumb that I've figured out in this business now, scaling it, is you essentially need 2 extra employees for every 10, roughly. Like you need 2 spare machines out in the field. You need 2 extra employees for every 10. So, if you have 36 machines, it'd be nice to have basically 42 guys, right? Now that cuts into expenses big time. And obviously you're going to incur a lot more money coming from the bottom line doing that. However, in the beginning of the season, that's just what I recommend. Once you're up to par, you could lower that down to having 3 extra employees for 36 machines. You know what I mean? That's completely fine. But I would recommend in the beginning of the season, just bite the bullet, spend the extra money, be overstaffed, go through your first couple snow events, your first couple big snowstorms, and then you could kind of not fire, but let people go from there.
Right. That's awesome, because I know you said have 1 customer rep per 1,000 customers, right? And,
yeah. So now,
you hired.
Sorry, go ahead.
Have you hired any more customer reps ever since?
Yeah, so we actually did hire a brand new customer service rep in the office. So currently we are rocking 3 customer service reps, which is the rule of thumb. I recommend per 1,000 customers, you have 1 customer service representative that could manage support as well as signups and everything to do with customer service. So for us right now, currently, we do have 3 customer service reps. We almost have a 4th, but I'm not going to consider Mitchell as a 4th because he's our operations manager and our dispatch manager. So his hands are full, but sometimes he'll hop up to plate and do a little bit of back-end work for customer service support. So will I, so will my partner, Nick. So we're staffed really well on the support side of things right now. We finally have some good foundation and infrastructure there. If you really want to start talking about that, well, I mean, for our first snowstorm, employees was difficult, but I think our biggest, most stressful bottleneck was the support side, in my opinion.
Was there any major damages or equipment breakdowns or?
Yeah. The first snowstorm, I was actually quite surprised. Usually you expect, I would say roughly for 36 machines, I would expect like almost 1 to go down for every 10 units. So for how much equipment we have, I'd anticipate 3 machines going down every single shift. But you know what? Our equipment held up really well over our first snowstorm, considering it was 4 days in a row, 4 snow events, 1 big storm. I was actually surprised to see the number of breakdowns. It was very minor. I was in the John Deere 6130M, and around my 3rd day in on snow event 3 or snow event 2. No, sorry, it would have been snow event 3 or 4. I can't quite remember. You might know, Maz. Remember when my John Deere 6130M, the blower wouldn't lift up and I hopped in the Kubota? It was our big tractor with the ag tires on it.
I think it was 3 or 4 for sure.
It was 3 or 4, but anyways, a couple days in, I was using that machine, and on snow event 4, the blower wouldn't lift up. It was like completely seized down. It actually wasn't seized. It's just some sort of electronic issue inside the cab, engaging the 3-point hitch to lift up and down. There was some sort of issue there. So that was a breakdown, which kind of put the machine down. We also had one of our brand new Kubota L6060s. When it got assembled at our dealership, I guess the guy who assembled it didn't put a nut on the tractor tight enough, right where the fuel pump is. So what happened is, because he didn't tighten the nut strong enough, it kind of popped off, and then our one Kubota was pissing diesel all over the place. And then what was the other one? Oh, we bent the stainless steel cutting edge, which thank God Eric, our mechanic, he caught that before it went out and started servicing driveways. It had like a cut like this in it, like a straight up V right on the stainless steel cutting edge. And if that would have dug into some driveways, my God, we would have had some issues. You're talking about like permanent damage. So I'm so happy he caught that. I guess maybe the operator, when he was pulling out of a driveway or maybe screwing around somewhere, he must have caught like something quite strong too, because it bent our stainless steel cutting edge quite significantly. So for breakdowns, that's like 3 machines. I don't even really consider that breakdowns. Like, a breakdown to me is kind of something a little bit more major, right? Or wait, I think we had no, that was the chasing plows. That wasn't part of the snow event. I'm thinking about the chasing plows video where the hydraulic oil line, the main hydraulic oil line split on tractor 11. It was pissing fluid all over the deck. But that's that new snow event video we got coming up. So yeah, not that. Yeah. So pretty much 3 breakdowns for the first snowstorm for 4 snow events. That's money. That's money. I've seen more breakdowns happen in one snow event than over 4, with almost double the machines as last year, right? But it went well. Nice. It went well.
It's awesome.
What could you say from editing all the videos, Maz? What can you say about watching everything happen during that first large snowstorm, which would have been snow event 2 all the way to snow event 5?
What would they say, like? Just
chopping up all the content and really seeing that snowstorm and how long we were out fighting it for at the beginning of the season, right? With obviously everybody being new to the game and everybody's getting back in the snow and whatnot, like watching that all kind of unveil. What was your thoughts when you were going through all the editing on that?
It's literally like watching a movie, bro, or a TV show while I'm editing this. And it's just like a TV show. Like, it's very entertaining to watch while editing.
Yeah, that made me laugh so hard. You're like, dude, it's literally like a TV series what I'm coming out with here, chopping up your content. Yeah. And like kind of that's what the snow series is about. That's what the snow event series is all around. I mean, last year I just did it for fun. I was just like, film the first snow event, film the second, film the third. I'm like, man, you know what? Why don't we just make a series? Like, and I guess this would be season 2 of our snow event. Of our snow events for the season. And yeah, man, it's exciting. It's super cool. It is kind of like a TV show though, if you watch them, it like
is, bro. Like
15 to 30 minutes long.
You just got all the characters. Like, you got your partner Nick, you got, like, I know the whole squad now, like Eric, Andres, Mitch. Those are the main guys, right? And I know all those guys just from like chopping up the videos, and it's like a TV show, bro. Like, you got your characters, and then you got the challenges. You're just, it's awesome. It's very entertaining to watch and edit, and it makes me enjoy it like even more. But dude, man.
You know me, I'm like very serious 90% of the time, but I'm also a very laid back type of guy where it's like, I don't get too excited too quick. I don't get too anxious, and I make sure the team knows that like I'm confident and I'm cool as a cucumber, because I don't want to make anybody anxious or nervous around me, because sometimes things get like really tough and like really scary. And it's like, wow, we actually got some challenges and problems on our hand. And, maintaining my composure as a leader in the business, I really make sure that I do that. It comes very naturally to me. But at the same token, it's something that I make sure I'm always doing because, you know, you're the leader of the team, and you can't be all frown faced and upset and snapping and screaming and yelling and being pissed off. It's going to rub off on your other guys, and you're a product of your environment. So if those guys are looking up to the leader and he has a piss poor attitude and he's in a bad mood and he's upset and he's swearing and he's unhappy, it's going to rub off on the other guys and they're going to start acting the same way. So I always make sure that I got that positive attitude in our work environment always. And then at the same token, I just like to have fun, man. Like, I'm a jokester at heart.
Yeah.
Like, you see in the videos, like, you know, I'm serious. I'm out here playing the game, but like, I love to have fun too. And I love to joke around. I love to fuck around. I love to screw with my guys, like screw with the employees. I like to, you know, I just like to have fun, man. You know, we're out here doing this shit for hours and hours, days on end, and sometimes it kind of gets a little bit frustrating and annoying, and you got to pop some smiles on some people's faces and let them know that it's all good.
I agree. Yeah, it seems like everyone's just like homies. You homies, and you just, you know.
It is. A lot of guys are tight. I mean, like, you see guys like Isaiah on the snow event videos. He was the guy going like this in the camera. Man, I've known that kid since I was like 8 years old. You know, you got guys like Mitchell I've known since I was 14. My partner Nick since I was like 14. You got guys like my buddy Mitch McMahon. I've known him since I was like 14, 13. Elijah Augusto, the Tiago Augusto. You'll see, like, man, I'm not even naming them all off. There's so many more than that. I just can't think of them all right now at this moment. You got like Joe Bruni. Like, so many guys I've known for the last decade plus in the small town we grew up with, and now they're all working with our team. And you know, they have a lot of respect for myself. They have a lot of respect for my partner and the business as a whole. And I think that just comes with, you know, us really stepping up to the plate as young entrepreneurs and just out here grinding and doing it. They want to work hard too. They see us working hard. They're like, yo, I want to be a part of this shit. And that's what we want them to feel like. Yeah, like, you want to be a part of this shit. You want to step up to the plate. You want to work hard. Come on in. I'm not even going to lie to you. Like, majority of our staff that we have, like even from the office, my boy Danny Givens, like, fuck, I've known him since I was like 12 years old as well. He's a CSR. Mitch McMahon, our operations and Mitchell Nicole, our operations and dispatch manager, like my main guy. I've known him since I was like 13, 14 as well. And these guys don't got really an educational background, but they got work ethic and they got attitude, and they're willing to work and they're willing to learn. And I feel like obviously there comes a certain extent in a working environment where you're going to need specialized experience for certain things, especially on mechanical side. And maybe as you grow the office, you know, financials and accounting as well, you'll definitely need somebody more specialized with education. But right now where we currently stand, we just got a pack of hungry dogs that are just willing to work their asses off, learn from their mistakes, and try again. That's Andreas. That's Eric Bolin. That's Mitchell Nicole. That's our customer service rep, Danny, me, my partner, Nick, and a couple other people involved. So right now, I'm very, very happy with our team and how strong we've grown it here in such short time, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could tell. And what was the story behind Eric? How did you find Eric Bolon, your mechanic?
It's actually kind of funny. So back in the day when I was landscaping 3-4 years ago there, it would have been 3 roughly. I was building a really nice hardscape for somebody, and I had to go get this plant arrangement for all these nice plants and trees and stuff like that. And he worked at a greenhouse. It kind of fell into his studies for school. They came from Guatemala to Canada, and he ended up in Sault Ste. Marie. And I guess part of his studies was really knowing about plants and trees and all that sort of stuff. I don't remember the exact educational title for what he went to school for. I think it's called a horticultural engineer or something like that. I can't remember. But anyways, he knows a lot about plants. So I met him at the greenhouse. I got this beautiful arrangement of plants, and he was just like a super cool dude, man. He helped me out. He's like, "Hey, I want you to show me exactly what this flower bed looks like. Like, draw it out in the gravel for me." So I drew out this like flower bed shape in the gravel. It was made out of brick, all out of brick, and I was like, this is how large it is roughly, because I had my measuring tape. I knew the exact dimensions. We drew it out in the gravel. And then he started putting plants and pots all over inside the gravel, like shape we made. And he's like, okay, let's do this. This arrangement looks nice. I was like, I do like that. He's like, okay, let's move some stuff around. We added, took away, and we were like just like making this like imaginary flower bed that was exactly what I was working with on site over at the greenhouse. And I don't know, we just kind of clicked. We kicked it off, and he was super cool. I think he thought I was super cool too. And he handed me a card after, because he was doing a little bit of business after work. And I remember catching him a couple times at gas stations, out at the airport, and I caught him a few times around. He gave me a few calls to touch base. You know, that's something Eric's really good at, is that he's met a lot of people here in Canada, and he always keeps in contact with everybody he meets. Like, he always follows up, touches base with them. He's really good at keeping connections and building connections, especially for a foreigner. He does it really well doing that. And he used to just touch base with me. And then one day he called. He's like, hey, bro, I got fired from the greenhouse. Like, are you still landscaping? I was like, yeah. He's like, can I come work? And I was like, fucking right, dude. And next thing you know, he was working with us doing landscaping. And the funny thing about Eric is, you know, I knew him, but I didn't know him that well. And I didn't know his capabilities either. I was just like, oh, you know, this is a foreigner. He's hardworking. I mean, it's going to be a little bit tough for the language barrier, because when I first met him, all he did was pretty much shake his head and reply back, yes, yes. And yes, he was just like very respectful. And then when I really got to know him, I really got to understand that, oh my God, like this kid's fucking smart. Like, this guy's fucking smart, man. Like, he knows what he's doing. And, you know, we put him up to tasks on the landscaping job site, and he did things that he didn't even know how to do. And he did it better than how a professional would. And it was just like mind blowing. So after having this very successful landscaping season and having Eric with us through a bunch of big hardscape projects, he just found his spot in the company so well. And he was just willing to work. He had no mechanical experience. He didn't really have even any hardscaping experience. And like, just watch him step up to the plate and be willing to learn and put his mind and effort and work towards something that he didn't even know how to do, and then actually accomplish it, was just amazing to see. So that's why he is where he is today.
That's awesome.
He's one of our main guys. And like I said, man, no education, no school, not even any really experience, just pure work ethic and willing to learn and know and understand. Man, he's hilarious, dude. If you met him in person, he's a time. He gets shit done though. He's an animal. He has the right balance of being able to have fun, you know, make the employees laugh, and then he knows when to fucking work too. And he will work big time.
Awesome. No, he's definitely a cool guy from what it seems from the videos, and definitely one of my favorite guys. He's so funny, dude.
He's just funny, man. He just knows how to have a good time. Like, he's just like, you know, life is short, and he doesn't really spend too much time wasting it, you know, being down or out or upset. He gets frustrated, as we all do as humans, but he's usually 90% of the time with a smile on his face, ready to work, ready to screw around, ready to have fun. And yeah, man, he's awesome.
Shout out Eric.
Yeah, shout out Eric. Bolo.
I had another question. So you and your partner Nick, you've told the story before with past podcasts, how you guys, you know, became friends and all that. How is like that relationship like in business? Like, do you guys ever fight, argue? Like, how do you guys like go through challenges as like brothers, I guess, pretty much, right? And,
you know what? We have our agreements and disagreements from time to time. But for the most part, to really sum it up for you, we get along quite well. You know, there'll be some things, like I said, that he may want to do differently than I want to do, but most of the time either he hears me out and he respects my decision, as he does have a lot of trust in me, or I will do the same for him, vice versa. You know, I have a lot of trust in him as my partner as well. And if there's a critical decision that he thinks we should make that makes sense, I will follow through and stand by his side. So we kind of always find the road in the middle together, and we don't really have any issues with one another fighting or arguing. He's also really easygoing. I would say I think I'm a little bit more of a prick, where I'm like, yo, Nick, we're doing it this way, dude. And I'll give him every reason why, and I'll back it up with a good reason. And then he'll just follow through. He'll just like, you know what? He's like, you know, I trust you, bro. Like, you know, you've made some good decisions in the past, and I'm going to trust you on this one too. I'm going to stand by your side. And if we fumble and fail together, well, I'm going to stand right by your side. So he's really good at taking accountability with me and kind of, you know, being that guy that, you know, if I make a huge decision for the company, because usually I am making most of the bigger decisions for our business, or the bigger questions are getting asked to me, sometimes I do screw up as human, right? And, you know, he'll stand right beside me and never really ever put me down and blame me for it being my fault. He knows I'm out here. I'm trying to do what I'm trying to do, being in this position. And making executive decisions could be very stressful, and you got to make them quick sometimes. So you make mistakes. Not often do I, but sometimes I do. And just having that partner be supportive and be a backbone, and, you know, never really like look at me and put me down and be like, yo, you fucked this up for us. It's great. It's great. He's supportive in that sense. And I need that, right? You all need that. Everybody needs a little bit of support. Like, you can't just be the only guy out there doing that. It's difficult. So yeah, man, we find our road in the middle together, and we ride strong together. And like I said, I'm a little bit more of a prick, and kind of don't really take no for an answer sometimes. And I'm always pushing for my decision, and he's always right beside me to stand with me and fight through the battles together. So it's fucking awesome.
Damn, that gave me goosebumps, bro. But damn, that's brotherhood right there.
Yeah, dude, we and yeah, we go back. Fuck, we've done some crazy shit for sure. Crazy shit.
All right, man. So, what do you think was the most difficult part of your just the snow business in general?
What would be the most difficult aspect of the snow business? What's the most difficult? I would say that, like, not the uncertainty, but like having no control over what the weather is going to do, right? Like, you could only be prepared as you prepare yourself. And like, that goes back to me learning the biggest mistake on my first snowstorm was not having enough employees for the first big snowstorm. So I would say that, like, you don't have any time on your side. That's the hardest thing, right? Like, the snow comes, and however much you prepared is how hard you're going to endure for that snowstorm. And if you didn't prepare enough, you're going to eat shit, and it's going to feel like legit hell for, you know, 12, 14, 16, 20 hours straight. Or in our case, going for 4 days like that, it was, you know what I mean? Like, it felt never ending, but we didn't shit the bed, right? Like, we were as successful as we could have been for how prepared we are. So what's the hardest thing about this business is being prepared. That's the hardest thing, because you're doing all these different things to get prepared, but you don't even know the outcome. You got to think about it, Maz. Like, I'm ordering equipment for next winter. I need to order equipment right now, but I don't even have a customer list that's promised me. I don't know how many customers I'm going to end up at. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hire all the employees. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the blowers in time. You know, there's so many things that hurdle you from being able to execute on this dream of how you want to prepare for your first big snowstorm or for the season. And so sometimes it might not always end up the way you prepare for it. And in our case, we've had multiple years in a row where we've prepared as best as we can. This year's been the best, by the way. It's the best preparation we've ever had. But then we still need more. We still need more equipment. We still need more employees. We still need more blowers. And it's difficult. It's also nerve-wracking. Like, I think about, to give you some perspective, think about going from 500 driveways with 7 machines to 22 machines in 1 year. I had to order 15 of those machines 8 months in advance, with not even knowing if we were going to get enough customers to pay for that equipment, right? To be able to service that many driveways. So it's stressful, man. Preparation's the most difficult thing in this business. It's like you got to be strategic as hell. You got to really map it out correctly. But I'm playing a different game. You know, most guys are buying 1, 2, 3 machines and they're moving slowly, so it's not as scary. I'm out here like 1 wrong move away, 2 wrong moves away from absolutely sinking the whole fucking company, because I'm scaling it so strongly, but I'm also putting a lot of planning and strategy behind it. I don't just fucking shoot from the hip. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's nuts, bro.
Preparation,
That
brother.
takes some.
Well, yeah,
That
dude.
takes some balls.
Think about ordering. Think about even this year going from 22 to now we have 37 pieces of equipment. You know, ordering all that extra equipment. Like, what if you didn't get the contracts, dude? You're going bankrupt. Like, if you don't get the contracts to service that debt that you just put yourself in, who's paying for it? Who's paying for it? Because when the bank runs out of money because you didn't get enough customers to pay for all the equipment you ordered, you are fucked. You're fucked. So it's you have a lot of confidence, you gotta have a lot of balls, you gotta be strong, and you gotta just kind of run with it, build a good plan, build a good strategy, and execute. That's the hardest thing in this business, man. That's all I could say. Preparation. And what comes with that is that there's a lot of stress, you know, and that's why I always say in a lot of videos you'll watch, I'm like, man, it's a young man's game. It is a young man's game. Like, I couldn't imagine doing this with like a full family and kids and, you know, other things going on in my life. Like, it's not easy, man. The hours are very demanding. The preparation is, you know, critical, and it's also very scary at the same time.
Oh yeah, I've seen behind the scenes, and dude, all the work you put in. I'm like, holy. Like, sometimes like, damn, Stefan, are you good, bro? Like, have you slept? But
I swear to God,
you know.
Yeah. I'm not getting cocky at all, but like, I don't care what anyone thinks or says. Like, you got to have balls to do this, man. If you want to scale it as quick as we have too, like, you got to have fucking balls, man. It's not easy, and it's very, very scary. And you obviously have control over your outcome, but nothing is guaranteed, right? Nothing is guaranteed. 2 years in a row, like the scaling to 2000, you know, the amount of like behind the scenes effort and push that we put towards making sure that we signed up enough customers to pay for the debt that we incurred to scale that large. Like, man, like spending every day, all day, just signing customers up, spending tons of money, overspending on marketing and advertising and branding just to be able to acquire that many customers. And this year was like a lot more strategic than that year, which was last year. But again, it was difficult for sure. Very difficult.
Well, yeah, I bet. And people don't see that, you know,
they don't see the behind the scenes, man.
No, when we're going on our like calls and this and that, dude, I hear this like the phone's ringing in the background. You're like, one second, and you gotta pick up customer's phone call, and you're one sec, pick up another phone call. I'm like, damn, dude, this guy's really in the ground. And you know, before that, he was just in a tractor all night, and then after that, he would just go into the office, do customer service for like 10 hours straight, and then go home, probably 5 hours of sleep. I don't know, take a nap, get back into it. You know, it's like, that's the grind, man.
You know what I could say, bro, is I absolutely love it. And I think it was everything I needed to do to get to this point right now. But where I'm at currently, I'm not really proud of that anymore. Sure, I could sit here with my chest puffed out and be like, hey, listen, you know, I could work 24 hours straight and, you know, be in a machine all night long and then hop on customer service support and make executive decisions and run a business and yada, yada, yada. But you know what that looks like to me? That looks like lack of focus. So I'm not entirely proud of that. It's like, okay, you look at that and you say that's respect, but I'm looking at it now as like, I need to start making changes, because if I continue to do this, I'm going to bottleneck my company really soon here. The growth is going to be very limited, and I need to buy back my focus and time. So currently right now, the beginning of the season was shaky. Like I told you, the biggest lesson I learned was hiring more employees than I could shake a stick at for our first snowstorm. I will make sure that I watch this video and do that next year. However, I'm looking to buy my attention and time back, and I kind of want options as well. So to kind of give some more clarity on that is I want to start working on my business, not in my business. Right now I'm working in my business. I want to start working on my business. So, I want to kind of have that eagle view over the whole operation and look for bottlenecks, look for constraints, look for issues where I could make improvements, look where I could build more systems, look where we could get stronger as a company so that we could continue to move this forward successfully and keep building this business. If I'm inside the business all the time, I'm not going to be able to see these things, Maz. I'm going to get burnt out after a 12-hour tractor shift and then 6 hours in the office, and then spending my time doing God knows whatever else I got to do. I'm going to get burnt out and I'm going to miss a lot of things, So I want to start working on my business and not in it. And that's going to come with, obviously hiring some employees so that I don't always end up as a spare in the machine. But we already established that we haven't had snow in 3 weeks, just so everybody knows, almost 4 weeks. Looks like we might get no snow for 5 weeks now, but it's going to come, and it's going to come soon, and it's going to hit fucking hard because it always does here in Sault Ste. Marie. And this time I'm going to be prepared. I mean, like, all of November and the first week of December was pretty shaky for me. I was everywhere. I was customer service support because we were short in there. I was running tractors, helping anywhere I could in the business, making executive decisions, as I said, for the company, looking at the whole business as a whole after being up for multiple hours and be like, okay, we need to figure out something now because we're hurting, and making all these improvements while on the fly. And I'm not looking to do that again. And I'm making sure that it's not going to happen again for us this time around. And you'll see me, if you see me in a machine, just know it was an option. I went in the machine because I chose to go in the machine, not because I had to. These last couple snow events, I went in the machine because I had to. I was on the customer service line because I had to. And I'm not going to do that to our company anymore. I'm not going to do that to myself because I know it's going to really, really, really hurt innovation for the company and growth. And I need to get my eyes on the prize. I need to sit back. I'm not saying sit back, relax. I need to sit back and analyze and get involved into where I need to get involved to make improvements. And that's what I'm going to be spending the rest of my winter doing, is getting dialed in and focused on executing this upcoming spring. So preparing for that. And when the snow's flying, I'm going to be pretty much all hands on deck, running around, trying to figure out where we could make improvements, where we could build systems. So I'll have options of what I'm doing on a regular snow event. No more.
A lot on your plate.
It is, but don't you think that's the more strategic thing to do? Like, if I keep all my time in a machine, or I keep spending all my time on the phone, I'm not going to really see some of the bigger issues that are going on. They're just going to keep recurring, and no system's going to be built to help that bottleneck or help that constraint. No changes are going to be made. That's a big part of my role in the company, is to find issues and then figure out a solution and then roll them out, keep moving forward on to the next. So I don't want to run the company like that no more. It's sooner than later. Two things are going to happen. Either I burn out or the company burns out, because I need to be playing my part and making sure that we could find solutions to the problems we're having. I'm doing that, dude, all while doing customer service and running a tractor. Like, I can only do that for so long, and it's not going to work long term, especially with the plans we have. Like, we're not just stopping here. Like, we got a big vision. And if I want to execute on this vision, I want it to start rolling out. I want it to actually come to fruition. Like, I need to work on the business. I can't be inside of it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. It's very understandable. And man, it just seems like you're just learning what you're doing, like learning and just implementing what you learned, and then just keep going. And yeah.
And this is not like me saying I know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying, Maz? I'm never really, I'm always optimistic, and I don't have a big barrier for ignorance here, where it's just like I think I know it all. I don't know it all, and I'm learning. I'm just trying new things, and I'll tell you that being inside the business is only going to take me so far. So I got to switch it up. You know what I mean? I got to switch it up. I think it's time. It's time now. And
it's crazy to think that your business is like almost 3,500 customers, right?
3,300 we're rocking right now, almost at 35. Yeah, we would have had 35 if it would have fucking snowed this month. Oh my god, never seen this in my life. It was plus 7 degrees 3 days ago, people were driving their sports car out on the road. We've never seen that in Sault Ste. Marie ever. Like, it was crazy. Green Christmas,
Damn.
you know? Yeah.
It's just crazy to think that your business, it's not small, but like it's still starting out, right? With you in position and all that. And to me, it already looks big, but it's not. It's potential, I guess. I don't know. Like, I see the vision. I don't know. It's awesome to watch, bro. It's awesome.
Well, it's really boiling it down to something simple. And I absolutely fucking admire our slogan to death, because I really, really stand by our slogan, and I really wanted to keep getting recognized that we have found a very simple solution on how to service customers with the need of snow removal residentially. And I want to keep standing by our slogan, which is snowblowing simplified. And I want everyone to know that we're bringing and innovating a model that is of the future, and it's going to be around for decades to come. And this is going to be the norm of how you get your driveway done in every city all over North America. It'll probably start to expand into some places in Europe and other places where it snows quite a bit, because it's just so efficient. It's so fast. I mean, where else are you going to get a driveway done in under 2 minutes? You know, you go pull your snowblower out of the garage as a man, like, you're going to take 30 minutes to do your driveway. You see this machine roll up, and it's like 2 swipes, boom, boom, out. You get a notification when we're on our way to come back to clean where your cars are parked, where we couldn't get in the night. We come back to clean the plow ends. We're, alerting and updating you all the time. We're providing an exceptional rate to take care of you for the whole season. Like, there's just so much to offer at such a good price, and it's so goddamn efficient that it's like a no-brainer. So you're going to continue to see this compound in my hometown, but the potential is much larger anywhere and everywhere. This is a business that's going to stay, and it's a business of the future, and it's really starting to break through right now.
Yes, sir. But we'd to hear, baby.
Big dreams, big dreams, big dreams. Yeah, no, we got some big goals, but we are just getting started. We're a new business. I mean, I would say we're starting to become established. We're building a good brand and good name for ourselves, but we got a long road ahead, very long road. And like, we are really just getting started. That's why I want to step back, man. I really want to work on just, bigger vision and really striving for more simple systems. I want to simplify this business even more than it already is. I want to keep simplifying it as much as possible. I want to make it literally like just idiot proof all around. Everything's got its place, and everything's got its reason. And I just want to make it simple, man. Simple as possible.
Yes, sir. All right, I'm gonna pivot here.
Pivot, baby, pivot.
It's more like a, I guess, mindset business subject. How do you like stay focused? Like, being young, being successful, right? And just how do you stay focused on the prize? No distraction. Like, you can easily maybe do this or do that or buy this, buy that. Like, how do you just stay focused?
Well, I think first and foremost is you got to know your strengths. And once you know your strengths, you got to double, triple, quadruple down on them. And that's what you got to spend majority of your time doing. So once you know your strengths and you know your value as an individual and in your place in the business, I think you got to really hone in on those skills once you have a grip on them. So that's where I always, dedicate most of my attention to is what I'm good at, right? Like, that's where I'm putting most of my time and attention to. I know my strengths, I know my weaknesses, and I focus on my strengths and I go all into them. Now, some people are good at a lot of things. Others are good at few things. I'm not good at a lot of things. I'd say I'm good at few things, and I'm able to capture my attention a little bit easier that way. But I'll tell you something that I've learned at a young age is that being in business, you're a hungry animal, and you're like, I want to do this. 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 It's like you start something, okay? And then you see something else, and then you move to the next thing. And then you start something and you see something else and you move to the next thing. And it's like being able to have that impulse control, I think, takes obviously experience, a little bit of lessons learned, and obviously some maturity as well. And as I've grown older now, I've really just been trying to capture my attention more into what needs to be done that's going to move the ball forward. I don't really spend wasted time on doing something that I know isn't going to be here a year from now. Yeah, this is like a really, really cool quote that I absolutely love to death. Is if you're not going to do it for the next decade, don't bother doing it for a day. Okay. And that's something like I tell myself a lot when I'm working on tons of different things, you know, and currently a business that we are running right now for this model, the Northern Snow model. We have Northern Roofing, and that's obviously takes a little bit of my attention and time, but we're making a pivot now to opening Northern Lawns. It's working right now in the back end, going throughout this winter. I've been preparing for it, and we're going to be ready to fire come spring. And, you know, I'm getting rid of the roofing company. I'm actually selling it. So this is some new news to you, Moss. I know you haven't really worked on any of the roofing side of stuff, so you don't really know much about it, but that brings me back to answering your question. Is like, I'm trying to dial in my attention, time, and focus. And I think the best way of doing that is honing in on your skills, knowing your strengths, doubling, tripling down on them, and don't do too many things at once. Like I can't run a snow company, a lawn company, a roofing company, a real estate company, like whatever it may be, run all these different businesses and be great at all of them. You're just going to be average at all of them. And then you're not going to be great at anything. I really want to be great at one thing. So I'm dialing in my focus, attention, time, everything. And I'm dedicating that towards this business model. And in the winter, we do snow. In the summer, we do lawns. It's a perfect 365 day a year business with the same customer base that you provide service to all year long. And it's a no-brainer. It's a reoccurring service, spring, summer, fall, and winter, right? It's a reoccurring service, man. Roofing's a one-time service. People get their roof done once every 20 years. As for their lawns, they're getting it done every week. As for snow, they're getting it done every other week, or sometimes 2-3 days in a row, depending on what the weather does. So I want to replicate this business model for having a reoccurring service. I want to build off that, and roofing wasn't it. So boom, cut that out. You know, that's wasting my time and attention. I have a lot of passion for it. I think it's amazing, but it doesn't fit with what I'm trying to do. So why hold on to it? Rip the Band-Aid off now. You know what I mean? Rip it off, move on, move forward, buy back your attention time, double, triple down on what you're good at, right? That's just, that's the mindset lately. You know what I mean?
That's awesome, bro.
And like, sorry, like I'm like the tangent king, because I can't really control sometimes like how many things are going on in my brain. But I always try and give like too much content. I always try and give too much context to questions sometimes, just because I have a lot to say. I have a lot that I feel, and I just express that. And yeah, man, that's how I feel about that question. That's for sure. I've been working on it though. I've been doing well. I don't sleep on it, right? Like I don't hold on to too many things. I just really focus on what we're good at, and I keep trying to make it better.
Right on.
Just like you, Maz, you're trying to become great at one thing, right? You're out here.
Yeah.
You're making killer edits, man. You're becoming so good at your skill, but you're not trying to at the same time be a pro golfer and then on the side resell Nike and Louis Vuitton and branded stuff, and like, you know what I mean? Like you're not trying to do that, right? You're focused on one thing and one thing only. And when you do that for a very, very long time, it compounds and you eventually become truly great at one thing. You do a bunch of different shit, it's going to be very difficult. It's very, very rare to be great at a bunch of different things. We all ain't Elon Musk, brother.
Right. No, I learned that from Hormozy. Do the one thing that you're good at, and yeah.
Tons of great entrepreneurs talk about it. Mosey speaks highly about it because in his earlier days of owning a business, before he met Layla, or while he was with Layla, he had like 7 different businesses at once. And like all of them like sucked ass. Like there was only one business that was kind of shining a little bit, and one business that actually was doing a little bit successful. And Layla looked at him one day and was like, Alex, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why don't you just go all into this one thing? And that was the gyms, right? And he had like a chiropractor agency, he had like a dental agency, he had the gyms going on, he had a supplement, like he was doing a bunch of different businesses, right? And And she just looked at him one day and said, hey, like, why don't you just put all your time, focus, and energy into that one thing and kind of cancel all the other cancel all the other companies and sell them all. And that's exactly what he did. And then that's when he grew Gym Launch to like $100 or $50 million business in like a couple of years. He dialed all his focus, attention, and time into one thing, and he became truly great at it. And that's why he explains it so much, is because like he accomplished the world doing that. He says to this day, he's like, if it wasn't for Layla, I'd probably, I don't know if like rate this day, but a couple years ago watching his videos, he's like, I'd still be running 6-7 different businesses trying to make them all work. Like if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have diluted all my attention into one thing, which is how you become great, man.
That's awesome.
There's no way around it.
Love Hormozy. Shout out Hormozy, man. Hope to be on your pod one day. We'll get it done. We'll get it done. Dude, we got big goals, baby.
I do anything. He's my biggest inspiration for sure. For sure. Him and Layla both. They're like a package deal. Love them.
Yeah, they're awesome. All right, man. What else? Yeah, so what do you think it takes to be just in this business, the snow business? Maybe it's now too, huh? What does it take?
What do I think it takes? What's it take? I think it takes a lot of patience, as any business does. It takes a lot of confidence, and you got to be ready to embrace the uncertainty, because like I said, the business, the biggest issue in the business is the preparation aspect. So really understanding that you got to be ready and uncertain about if the equipment's going to show up on time, if you're going to sign up enough customers to be able to manage the debt that you're going to have from purchasing all this equipment in advance, and X, Y, and Z. So I think it takes those traits and attributes right there more than anything. And, when it does get tough, you got to be a leader. You got to stand tall and strong in front of all your employees, and you got to be a good role model, good example, and a good leader. I could go down so many rabbit holes of what else I think it takes. Like, if you want to scale it to the level we've scaled it to as quick as we have, it takes a lot of time and diligence into branding and marketing, and spending a lot of money on that, really honing in on that. Because if it wasn't for branding or marketing, our business wouldn't even be close to as big as it is today. So that's another skill and attribute that I think you should really work towards if you want to get in this business model. It takes a lot of branding and marketing if you want to scale it big. It's a volume business, right? More customers, more bottom line profit, more LTV, the better it is, right? The more dense you could get neighborhoods, the more dense you could get roads, the more customers closer together, the more profitable it becomes. And you got to brand and market your ass off if you want those customers. You also got to have a good sales script. You have a good sales team. There's a number of things, but you know what? The biggest thing and the most time and attention and focus, if there's anybody in this business model who's looking to scale it, make sure you got your offer dialed down. Okay. Number one, get your offer dialed the fuck in. That's all I could say. The rest will follow suit after. How you decide to market it and how you decide to build your brand around it is up to you. Some people are naturally gifted and better at it than others, but you have to nail your offer before anything. 110%.
Right on. That's awesome. So how'd you get good at sales?
I just think from just putting the reps in, man, putting a lot of time into doing it, repetitively doing sales on the phone, one after another. And you see me on the mic right now, I'm spitting like a hyena, but when it's on the phone and you're doing sales, you got to be really strategic with what you're saying, how you respond to a customer, certain tonality you use. You got to keep it brief, short, and blunt. And you got to get to the point, and you got to answer the customer's questions. You got to be very personable. If you know them, you want to talk something. If you know them at all, you kind of want to talk about them, not about you, and then kind of slide into what you have to offer, right? Sometimes you answer the phone with somebody really personable, and you answer, you say, hey, this is Stefano from Northern. How you doing? Oh, I'm doing well. Just watering the garden. Oh, hey, how's the garden looking? What are you growing in there? What do you got going on? And then they'll start telling you about their garden. And then, next thing you know, you're 5-10 minutes into a conversation talking about their garden. And then you transition to talking about their life and their family and stuff. But sometimes people want that. And then when you bundle it up with pitching your offer right after getting personable with them like that, they're already sold before you send them the offer because you were so personable with them over the phone. You were so nice. You were so interested in their life, you know? So I don't know, man, you gotta just, you start to understand it. Like, just like how you go to the gym for multiple years, you start to understand how to put the reps in and how to really, you know, dial in, build in muscle or anything, man. You get good over time. Look at you. You learned how to edit without even knowing how to edit, and you're becoming a professional at it. You know, like you got putting the reps in, you put the time, you put the hours in, and you got really good at it. It was the same thing for sales, brother. It was just a natural gift to me. I love to talk to people. I love to hear people out. I like to be personable. And I don't know. It just is something that grew on me. And yeah, I love it. It's like one of my favorite parts of the business. For sure.
Nice. You're a dog, man. Dog. But
dialed in,
did you have like a mentor?
No mentor, like bro.
Mentor or
no. And like, there's a lot I still don't know about sales. I mean, there's a couple courses I'd like to take as our company keeps growing. Obviously there's got to be a head of sales and there's got to be a leader for our sales team. And we currently don't have one right now. I would say that I'm the head of sales, and I really put a lot of time forward into kind of, you know, training the guys on what to say and how to respond to certain things customers ask, and how to use proper tonality and how to approach certain situations to be able to sign up a customer or deal with them for support, either or. I mean, sales and customer service are kind of two different things, but they are also very like together and very alike. But, you know, to really answer that question in particular, it's like, yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. Like, it's kind of, it's kind of a mix, right? So
that's awesome. Like, you're obviously dialed in, and this is my first pod, so just bear with me, guys. I'm a little stuttering and this and that, but you know, we'll get through it. We'll get through it.
You're solid. If I was asking you questions, it'd definitely be me talking a lot less, but you're hitting me with them, so I'm spitting
just
over
coming
here.
from coming off the dome, bro. All these questions, and I don't know what else. Anything else? Any advice for your future self, or your anyone out there getting started in the business or any type of business, really? You got any advice for them?
I think I like already said it, and I'll say it again. It's just, you know, focus on one thing, dial in your attention, dial in your time, make sure you're allocating it to the right place, and just focus on one thing. Like, don't get all scatterbrained, and, you know, don't look at the woman in the red dress. That's another Alex Hormozy saying, like, you know, don't get sidetracked on thinking that like what you're doing right now isn't working. And, oh, look at that guy over there making all that money. Look at how successful he is. Let me go do what he's doing. Like, just, you know, don't do that to yourself. Keep doubling, tripling down on what you're good at. You've already gotten this far in the business that you're currently in. Or if you're looking to start a business, just, you know, take that advice. It's going to suck for a very long time. You're going to eat shit. Eventually you're going to get to a point of, you know, asking yourself, why am I even doing this? Is it even worth it? Should I do something else because I'm not seeing any return? And then eventually you make it out of that rut and you start to see a return on your investment of time, money, heartache, the whole 9 yards. That's when the business really starts to grow and flourish. As soon as you gain that momentum and traction, you see return coming in from your business or anything you do in life at all. Just like the gym, right? After a couple of years of grinding, you start seeing that return on your body, just like you start seeing return in capital in your company. That's when you could really, you know, some people go two ways. Some people turn left and some people turn right. And I think the right way is to just keep hammering down, right? Keep going hard. Keep going hard.
Love it. So yeah, with the next year coming up, the new year, 2024, do you have any like big goals? What are your top 5 biggest goals, I guess? I don't know.
The biggest goal, I definitely want to get into really, really good shape. Like, I want to lose like another like 10, 15 pounds. I'd love to be absolutely shredded for summer. That's always been a big goal. It's so difficult. If you know any backstory about me, Maz, I used to weigh like 270 pounds. I was huge, brother. I was huge, and now I'm 5'9", roughly.
5'9", yeah. 270. Damn, brother.
Yeah, bro. That's a short guy, pretty wide. I was wider than I was taller. But yeah, anyways, I want to get in a really good shape. Right now I'm currently 170 pounds. I'd like to get down to like 160, 155, and just look absolutely peeled. I've been working out for like 8 years. So, yeah, it's just more of, it's really like kind of just like trying to dial in diet as a whole. Like really that's what it is. And then just maintaining, you know, getting your steps in and hitting the gym. So goal 1, I want to get into better shape. Number 2 is I want to absolutely crush it this summer with our new endeavor for the lawn side of the business. Our customer base for the winter is going to be astonished when they hear that we're going to have a summer service to do, you know, their spring and fall cleanup, a little bit of property maintenance for their landscapes, and then we're going to be cutting their lawns as well. Like people are going to go bad shit crazy because we have so many happy customers as it is with our snow. And now us coming out with a crossover service, they're going to be pumped. Third thing, that's about it, man. You know, I want to, you know, enjoy and spend time with my loved ones when I'm not working. But for the most part, those are like my 2 biggest things. I want to just really, really get even more dialed in. I want to get as much attention as possible and drive it towards the thing that, that is going to give me the most return and that I've been growing up to this point. So after lawns is executed, I guess the 3rd biggest goal is to hit home another huge winter. And we have some things working out. I'm working on in the back end right now, and I can't talk about them quite yet. So I'll show the crowd when the time comes, but got some exciting things coming for next winter. You'll definitely see a big jump in scale again. And yeah, stay tuned for Northern Lawns this upcoming spring and the 6-pack.
Yo, my boy's getting jacked. Yes, sir. I love it.
Now I'm gonna have to live up to that. You know what I'm saying? Fuck.
Yep. We'll we'll check back in next season.
We'll check back in. Yeah, we'll do another one before we fire up the lawn side. Why not? Man, you're asking me a really important question about the sales. It was your last question. I lost my train of thought, but I don't know. You probably won't remember, but it was something that came to my mind, and then I kind of forgot about it, and we went on to the next question. But I don't know.
Yeah, like was it the mentor one? Like how you get really good in sales, or?
Well, I mean, obviously, if you have a mentor, you're going to get there way quicker. Oh, I think it was this. I'd really, really would like to take some courses and learn more about sales for our business, because as we keep growing, we're going to get more salespeople. But the thing is, we have good sales guys as it is right now, but they're not really experienced in that field, and we don't have a head of sales. I'm the head of sales, and eventually I'm probably going to veer away from that because I really want to spend more of my time probably marketing, and then if I have leftover time, it would be sales. So the reason why I want to learn more about it is because I want to be able to bring in another person and show them everything I know and learn through my experience, and also through learning these courses, and then pretty much make them the machine to our business, being the head of sales. You know, first you got to learn to be the machine, and then you got to build a second machine. That way it just rolls out from there. But
right.
Yeah, like definitely wanting to do that when the time comes. But remember the biggest thing I said about if you're getting into this business, what do you think it takes? Man, have a good offer. Like we actually don't even really have a sales team, in my opinion. We got some guys who got great tonality, they got good work ethic, good attitude, but like none of them are skilled at scale. None of them are skilled at sales, and none of them are skilled at customer service. They're just like willing to do, and they got the right personality and characteristics to fit that role. But like we sell so many customers because we have such a good offer, backed by such a good marketing and such a good brand, right? So those things compound. And if it wasn't for having that offer, the sales, you'd have to try extra hard. You'd have to try extra hard. I mean, not to boot, we kind of have the starving crowd because we're in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario with lots of snow. So it's easier to sell people when you have a beautiful offer on the table. But if our offer sucked ass, man, we'd need some major work on our sales team. But because our offer is so good, the damn service sells itself. Customers take a look at our brand, our website, all the marketing and advertising we do. They check out our offer. I swear to God, they call, they're ready to sign up. They don't even need to hear the pitch. Yeah. They don't ask too many questions. Hi, I'd like to sign up for snow for the winter. That's it. Like that's like 90% of the phone calls. And then it's usually the elderly people who are like, can you give me the breakdown? Like they don't, you know what I mean? So the offer is huge. Spent 2 years working on it now. Well, 3 years, and it's dialed in.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's what I wanted to. That's what I wanted to say was that it's like, you know, you cannot even really have a sales team. You could just have the right people, the right personality, right traits that could answer the phone. But if you don't have a good offer, you're going to have to train them because it's going to be a lot harder to sell customers. Just saying. That's what I think anyways.
No, I agree 100%. If your product's good, you know, customers going to be really hard for customers to say no, you know, if your product.
Yeah, man. And it compounds with time too. When your service is to par and the whole town's talking about you, that goodwill compounds. So then again, right? Even though your offer is good, you got referrals from other customers' mouths, face to face to new potential customers. And dude, that's worth more than any offer you could ever even say.
Yeah.
You know, or ever even pitch. Like, you know, word of mouth is everything in business.
Yes, sir. And you get the pickets all looking nice, and you know,
pickets dialed in, brands dialed in. There's a couple things I'd like to change and do, but obviously it costs a lot of money. It'll take time, but yeah, I got a bunch of different ambitious things I want to do in the business to be able to kind of not change our look too much, but kind of have it stand out even more. I want to really incorporate the blue a little bit more because it's such a gorgeous color, and it really is our brand. Our brand's black, white, and blue, but I want that blue to pop out a little bit more, you know?
Yes, sir. I agree. I love your colors. And,
they're dope.
Yeah, I think it's great branding.
They're elegant, man. It's the website too is on fire.
Yeah, I was looking at that a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, damn, this is nice.
Dude, that website, you have no idea how much money we've spent on that. Since from like start, like year one, Northern Landscaping Snow, to where we are now, like, whew, probably spent like 30 grand on that website. I think. Yeah. Legit 30 grand on that website. Like we've rebuilt it like 3 times. Yeah, we've rebuilt it 3 times. I think almost 4 times. I'd have to double check. But we've rebuilt that website so many times, ripped it down, recreated it. We are always updating and fixing things. We're always trying to provide more value to our customers on our website and always doing updates. We got a bunch of cool stuff on there, you know, live GPS tracking, dispatch logs. You got your reserve seasons pass, your supports on there, weather tracking. We got it all for the customers.
Yeah, like you said, your product. It's hard to say no to a great product, right?
Well, dude, the last pod I was on, you're right. It's very hard to say no to a great product or a great service. Absolutely. It sells itself, especially when you have the brand up to that point. It's just like so trustworthy, right? On the last pod I was on, Buddy told me, like, when he looked at the website, he's like, dude, I was fucking sold just when I looked at the website. I didn't even need to hear the offer. I didn't need to hear the pitch. Like, I didn't even need to talk to anyone. I didn't even need to look at the price. I was sold as soon as I went onto your website, just because it was so professional. The brand was sharp. It just looked like we knew what the fuck we were doing. You know, we cared, and that's what he said. So I agree with him. It's sharp looking for sure. Simplifying it, bro. Simplifying it, man. That's it.
Yes, sir. Who was like in charge of, you know, creating the logos and the colors? You and your partner make that down together and be like, look, I like this, and that. Or
do you want me to just talk about the snow logo, or do you want me to go back to the landscaping logo and then tell you how it's evolved to where we are now?
Okay, whatever you want, man. Like if you want to get the whole backstory on.
I don't want to go too into detail because I already know I talk enough as it is, but. The landscaping logo was done on the computer, just on a Wix maker. Just call my partner Nick up. I was like, hey man, listen, like I want to start doing a business. I'm making a logo right now. Like, what do you think sounds catchy for a name? And you know, came up with the idea of doing Northern Landscaping, and then Wix just made the logo around the name Northern Landscaping. Okay, so I had no control over that. Yeah. But as we were veering out of Northern Landscaping and we were changing the name of our company to Northern Snow, I was like, okay, we got to change the logo. And I remember that like it was a really tough thing to do because we established this logo. Everybody knew us for Northern Landscaping. Now we're changing our name to Northern Snow. We're shutting down the landscaping company and our whole logo is changing. So it was a big step, right? That's when I came up with the idea. I have a picture of our John Deere 5115R with a pronable cyclone on the back. We have this whole professional collage of pictures of this tractor blowing snow that we used for like marketing and branding and all this sort of stuff. And just to have the pictures. And I remember there was this one shot I have. It's a gorgeous shot of the tractor blowing snow from behind. You could kind of see it. It's on an angle, like a little bit of on an angle, and you see the Nokian snow tires with the beautiful blower in the back blowing snow. You see the John Deere green. I'm like, dude, that picture's the logo. Like that is it. Like that's our new Northern Snow logo, is that exact picture. We're going to cut out that tractor out of that picture and we're going to make it the logo, you know? And that's what we did. You could see the blower, the two tires, the tractor cab, and it came from that picture, man. So yeah, that's how the Northern Snow logo came to be. Is I just really wanted to change our logo as we were changing from Northern Landscaping to Northern Snow. I said, if we're changing names, we're changing the logo, because before it was like two trees with like a little pathway and a couple rolls of sod and like this little simple logo. It looked classy and it was cool, but it just made no sense for a snow business. So I wanted to change it to something that was like a little bit more iconic, a little bit more understanding. And when people first sign up with us, they probably look at our logo and they're like, what the fuck is that? And then as you stay with the company, as you see us provide service, you see that tractor with that blower back up in your house, and you visualize and you start to understand that, oh my God, now I know what that symbol is. I know what that symbol represents, man. It's the goddamn snow tractor. And it looks identical. Like if you look at this really closely beside a machine that's turned around with the blower facing you, it looks identical.
Oh yeah.
So it was really capturing something that was like, relatable to the service, and that had to do with putting the snow tractor. Like it's unique, man. This is the thing right here. This logo right here, this snow tractor is what makes the business what it is. Without that, the business wouldn't be anything. The snow tractor makes it what it is, Yeah. So why not put in the logo? That's how we came up with it, baby.
The rest is history.
Yeah, no, I had a couple people work on it with me, like some professionals, some good friends here from Sault Ste. Marie, and they helped me design the logo, and kind of capture my idea of what I wanted, and they brought it to life, and brought some other things to life, like getting an actual brand color involved, because we were always black and white. They incorporated the blue kind of because that's something we wanted. Like, hey, we're a snow company, like let's get some sort of color in here. We're just black and white. So, obviously went with the blue color and kind of made our own custom brand and logo, and here we are. Built off of it, baby. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right. What else we got?
I don't know, Miles. What do you got for me? I think that's probably about it. We hammered a lot of shit, brother. You got anything else to say? Anything that comes to your mind? Anything to finish the video off?
Do you have any goals for the social media pages?
On the social media side,
air that out or no?
Yeah, why not air it out? That's like on top of a lot of other things I'm involved in the business. That's something I spend, I'm not going to say all my time doing, but as much time as I can towards it. I get a little bit more involved in it than I am, because I want to try and really double down on it. But so the main goal is to just keep growing the channel, keep growing a beautiful audience in this niche. I'm making content around what I know and what I do. I'm not bullshitting anybody. There's probably tons of people on Instagram that grew up in my hometown that are fucking annoyed as hell out of the content that I'm posting, always talking about snow and business and snow and business. And it's like, okay, Steph, talk about something else. I'm talking about what I know. That's what I feel comfortable doing. I'm not going to get behind the camera and talk some bullshit and start talking about something that I don't know about, right? So I just speak on what I know. I speak on what I've been through. I speak about the lessons I've learned, the business I'm involved in, and I'm just going to keep doing that, man. I just want to keep growing the channels, keep growing the audience, keep helping people, of course, especially in this business model. Yeah, you know, hopefully, I would like to see, if we're talking numbers, which I don't really care about so much, but if we're talking numbers, you know, I'd love Instagram to be at 10,000 by the end of 2024. I think that's very possible. I'd love for YouTube to be at 15,000. I'd love for TikTok to be, I think TikTok has potential of getting to 50 Maz by maybe the end of the of the year, depending if we got a couple bangers. 50,000, we'll see. 25 to 50,000, I'd be happy with. And that's about it. I mean, YouTube's my baby. I love YouTube. I want to really keep growing YouTube. The long form content is where my heart sits for sure. I love it.
Yeah, it's great. Like I said, it's like a little TV show, TV series, and people love it, man. Especially the snow stuff. Great. Like
podcasts too. I'd like to get like, I don't know, if I could start doing a podcast a week, that'd be sweet. But I'm not like a huge fan of like interviewing like other people. Like I don't really like being the host. I'd rather people ask me questions and then me talk about how I'm feeling, what I'm up to, and things I've learned in business and stuff like that. But you know, there's some guys who like inspire me that I'd love to get on a podcast and ask them questions. Kind of like, you know, like Jim McKenzie was a big idol for me in the space. And you know, my buddy Ted Glazer, who's rocking it with Summit Lawns, like that was awesome to do a podcast with him. So I'm going to continue to be host and do some of my own, but hopefully some more people ask me, and I don't mind traveling.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah, big goals in the content, man. I gotta really, you know, when you ask me about the big goals, like I'm not sure why I left that out, but I guess I did, because when I'm thinking like where most of my attention's dialed into, it's my health and building northern lawns and northern snow, and then, you know, the content comes after. It would be like my fourth thing, you know. Got to have my health in check, which makes me ultimately a machine when it is in check, you know, physically and mentally. And then I got to focus on the business first, and then content comes after. So here it is. That's my fourth piece for you after that. Yeah.
No, we're killing it, man. You're a content machine. Like this guy worked so hard, man. I forgot to put that in, you know, like your daily routine or whatever. You'll hop on a tractor at 2 a.m., whatever, and then you'll do customer rep. But while all this is happening, you're also filming everything, right? So that's another thing you're doing. And I'm like,
I'm telling you, it's not easy too. Like when you're having a snow event that's actually like beating the fuck out of you, beating the fuck out of your staff, and like, you know, things are going wrong, breakdowns are happening, supports all bottlenecked up, and there's just issues going on. To be able to actually get behind a camera and start filming sucks, man. Like it really does. It's just kind of like, it's almost like I have to do it because I'm committing to making this content for not just myself to look back on, to improve on, but for also everybody else to see what the hell is involved in this business. And I just kind of pull my pants up, and sometimes I've been up for 2 days straight and I've slept an hour a night, and I got to get behind the camera, and I don't want to, but I still do it. Like you probably edit some of my clips. I'm like stumbling words for like fucking... Oh, yeah. Like I'm like sentence after sentence. I'm like, yo, Maz, I'm sorry. I'm not even making sense right now. Hold on. Let me dial this in. I'll repeat what I have to say and then try and capture the moment, right? But yeah, no, just always trying to capture content when I'm out doing snow events. But I want to start making different content. I think like now that I'm gonna kind of step away from, you know, being assigned to a machine or support in the office, now that I'm kind of like, you know, looking back at the operation and working on it, I'm going to try and make some more business content, because I feel like people would really like to see that, you know, the snow event content I want to work on as well, you know, get that 360 camera, get some dope snow blowing footage inside, outside of the cab, get some breakdowns. I'm going to still make the cool snow event videos, but I want to start making some really cool, like business videos. I think that it'd be very beneficial for myself to learn from, and also to help other people in the business that are looking to grow.
That's awesome. No, even myself, like I'm very curious about everything. That's why I'm like asking about like this or sales and this and that.
Yeah. fuck. It's just like being in the earlier stages. You don't want to let like any big secrets go, right? Like we've built the business now to a point where we have some good integrity and good structure here, and I'm not really worried. But like I don't want anybody to kind of like jack my style and then come up against me, right? I give a lot away as it is already. So I just feel like if I really start talking about business with me, my fucking motor mouth, I might give too much away. So I got to really control what I'm saying behind the camera if I decide to start putting some good business videos out around this model.
For sure.
I will though. I got to pitch me some ideas, Moz. What the fuck, man?
I got you, bro, dude.
I know.
I got you.
I'm just.
I always got you, man.
I know. You always got me. Literally, always got me. Whenever I'm in a pinch, too. I love it, man. Yo, you know what's the crazy thing is? Just before wrapping this up, is like me and Moz haven't even met each other. We talk every fucking day. Literally every day we've talked since we met back in. Was it like early September we linked up?
Late August, you hit me up on Fiverr, and then right. I was like, oh, whatever. This is another guy that wants 10 fucking short videos. Sure. And then
how was my approach? How was my approach? It was different than most people. Am I right or wrong?
Oh yeah. Well, most people just hit me up, hey, can you do like 10 videos for this video? I'm like, yeah, I got you, sure. And then I'll just deliver it. And then you just like sent me like a whole paragraph. And you're like, hey, I need an editor, then this, and that. And I was like, oh yeah, sure, I'm down. And then I looked more into it. I looked at your pages. I'm like, damn, this guy's a 23-year-old, same age as me, killing it in the snow business out in Canada. I'm like, dude, I want to fucking be involved with this guy. What the fuck? That's dope as shit.
Dude, I'm so happy. Like, oh my God.
Like, dude, that's dope as shit. Like, just working together has been so easy, bro. Like, you don't understand. And it's like,
I can say the same about you, man. It's been smooth. Like, I don't know, we link, we click super easy. We're on the same page. I'm not too picky because Moz is already putting out spectacular content as it is. Your editing skills, especially making thumbnails. What's the word for that? What is it again?
The thumbnails?
Yeah, the thumbnails. No, the thumbnails. But like, what's the word? Not digital designing. What's it called?
Graphics design?
Graphics design, man. You're big, strong suit in that. I mean, you are an amazing editor. I've never seen you film. I'm sure you could do some great filming, but your graphic design is that's where you got a good, strong suit in. Thumbnails are always a banger in my opinion, but the editing is very, very, very good too. But yeah, man. You're going to be along for the journey with me. We click. We're just getting started. We got a big road ahead for not only the content side of things, but the business. And I'm excited for you to stay side by side with me through the growth of this. I mean, you see the vision. I haven't even really explained to you what we plan on doing and where we're going with this, but I think you're just smart enough to know what we're trying to do. And yeah, man, I have a great feeling about you being a big part of this. And fuck, the content's been way too much fun. Like, man, when you're like, yo, I got a video ready for you to watch because you'll text me late at night because the time difference. You text me late at night like, yo, I got a video for you to watch in the morning. I wake up, I'm running out of bed to the office. I'm like, I can't wait to watch the new YouTube video. I get excited too, it's awesome. No, thanks for everything, man. I appreciate you. Wouldn't have the content I have right now without you. If I didn't have you, my content, I don't even know. I think that I wouldn't have even really had the time to do it this year. If you want my honest opinion, I probably would have put out some half-ass edited content every other week and it would have been dog shit. And I would have really, really fumbled on making content if it wasn't for you this year. Last year I did it. And I remember how much time it took for me and it was sinful. It was very sinful operating the company. And then also doing the editing was like, it was harsh, man. It was harsh. So thank God for you, bro. Bless up.
Yes, sir. Yeah, editing is another full-time, bro. It takes me like a couple days to do one video or holiday special one.
And, holiday special is like probably a 16 to 20 hour project with the thumbnail. Straight up.
Oh yeah.
Straight up 16 to 20 hours.
Yeah, I'm good the equipment here and you guys will have some way more like killer content coming your way, and dude, it's coming. I'm excited to work on everything. The beast, yes, sir. And
working.
I see. We just click, right? I see your vision, and I'm like, oh, I know what he likes. it's just easy, bro. I don't know why.
Yeah. It works, bro. It works. I love it. We're both very easy guys to work with, so it works so well for the both of us. We're on the same page. Well, Maz, listen, this is a great little quick pod that we did together. It is virtual. I mean, in person would have been way doper, but we made it work.
Yeah.
Hopefully we could capture some good content out of this, and thank everybody for watching.
Yes, sir. From the first pod, thanks everybody. Appreciate it, and appreciate Stefano, and go Northern Snow, baby.
You got it. We'll catch you on the next one, guys. Peace.